Hello friends, May Flaum here for Dress It Up Buttons, back with another resin tutorial. Today we are playing with the new Pantone Dahlia colored buttons. And to get started, you're going to mix equal parts of your epoxy resin. Note that depending on the brand you are using, you'll want to make sure and follow all manufacturer recommendations, including working in a well-ventilated area. Gloves are also recommended, and be sure again to read those directions because it will vary from brand to brand. I am just giving this a nice stir and I'm not wearing gloves yet, but that's another story for another day. But I do use gloves with resin. Sometimes just when I'm initially stirring and I know everything is perfectly clean, I wait to put them on for a moment just to make things easier on myself. I have got the hearts, the rounds, the rhinestone flowers, and the larger buttons as well. We're going to use them all on this coaster. Now you might notice I'm wearing little finger gloves because I don't currently have any full gloves, but these can be really nice for when you're really only working with your one hand and if you're feeling very confident. If you're not, put those full gloves on. So I am pouring a little bit of resin into the coaster, just into the ridges there. And then I'm sprinkling the micro buttons here, and we are just a tiny bit in fast forward just to give you the idea of how this is going to go since it runs a little tedious. It can take a few minutes. Remember though, you're taking your time with your resin and you're putting things in. Now I will remind you as you continue to add more resin and pour more, what you are going to find is that your buttons are going to move around. So I try not to be too particular at this stage. I'm really just trying to get a good mix and get everybody into the pool, so to speak, get everybody off to the sides before I carry on. Now, once that is done, I am going to sprinkle some silver glitter, and I also have some mica powder that is kind of similar in color to the Dahlia, and this is actually going to be a very subtle, I don't really notice this so much in my finished project. It's just really to add just a tiny bit more color and detail. With these in, I'm going to want to pour some additional resin on top, and I'm going to want to give that a little bit of a stir. This is going to kind of capture that resin and capture that glitter and hold it together. This is going to make a base layer so that the one side of this coaster is going to be fairly solid. You won't see the back sides of the buttons through that glitter. Then I'm going to place, starting with my largest buttons, going to place buttons here around my coaster. And the other thing that placing that initial layer of resin all across the center of the coaster there does is it ensures that we won't have bubbles. There won't be bubbles forming under our buttons because there's already a thin layer of resin there to hold things together. Now for the hearts, I really did just pour those on. I will sort them all out in a moment here. And I'm pouring on a bit more resin. Remember that light layers, continuing to add resin, that's a great way to work. And you might notice I have this big old pick/tweezers that I work with. I use those a lot to help me move things around. These are specifically for resin use for me. So I would not recommend if you have a good pair or you don't have a specific pair just for that. I would recommend making a pair or using a wooden stick or something of that nature. Then it's wait 24 hours and unveil. These projects are so easy to do, but they're so stunning and they make such great gifts. I know this one I think would be great for birthday or for Mother's Day. You can see the flowers in there, the hearts in there, the buttons. It's so cute and it can go two different ways. So this coaster you can put like this and it has a flat top, and if there's a cup, put a cup on top if we want. Or if you flip it over, it has a bit of a lip to it, which to me also means this is a great, not just coaster, but holder for buttons and beads and little things of that nature. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave us a comment and be sure to subscribe for even more Dress It Up Buttons videos. We'll see you next time.